friends, we need to talk about Tether and stablecoins. Yes, this is the risk that I've been speaking about, this contagion effect post the UST Luna drama. We were speaking about this yesterday and things are starting to play out. So a huge warning for all of you out there who are in stablecoins. We're going to cover off what is going on, what does it mean, what should we be doing in this market. Hit up the like button, don't forget to subscribe. Another emergency video for you. In this crazy market, I'm committed to being here for you guys in the good times, in the bad times, with a level head to give you the direction that you need in these markets. As always, if you like my perspective, consider checking out ijaz.uk/member to join our course member live streams. We are jumping on in the next half an hour with our course members, so do join us over there. Now, I want to take a look at the UST chart. Now, we know a couple of hours ago, we got news that USDT, which is also known as Tether, is depegging, right? It depegged down to a low here, which you can see of 94 cents. Again, this is not great. And more importantly, if I come on over to the weekly chart, this is pretty much, apart from, you know, when they were launching, the biggest issue they've had. You can see by the wick here, from all their time in existence, this is the biggest wick that they've had down. So this is not great. Monitoring it here on the 5-minute chart, it's kind of heading back towards parity now, which is good, but still not quite there. Kind of needs to be a little bit higher here at $1, of course. So we've still got some work to do to get this back to peg. But the more worrying issue is what is going on. And what is going on is this contagion effect, which I've been speaking about since yesterday. Post the UST drama that we saw and what happened with a top 10 project and huge stablecoin with immense backing, VC backing, institutional backing, you know, everything, it had everything going its way, Luna and UST. Since that was attacked with a coordinated attack and driven down to zero in a matter of days, that peg is still sat here at 58 cents. Yep, this is the UST peg right now. There's a lot of contagion fear, and that contagion fear has spread across to multiple stablecoins, and any platforms with a stablecoin are getting punished in this market. We've covered that off, right? We're seeing a lot of the ones with stablecoins getting punished to the downside, and big movements over the last couple of days to the downside. So if we look at the list of stablecoins, the important message to understand now is stablecoins have always had this inherent risk. In yesterday's video, I linked some snippets back to September 2021 when I just getting started out making some of these videos, mentioning that there's a huge underlying problem with some of these stable coins, and we're starting to see that come into fruition. Now, when you take some of those fundamental weaknesses along with a successful coordinated attack from the bad actors, plus the self-fulfilling prophecy of the panic, the fear, the FUD that is going around, that is not a good time to be testing the strength of a stable coin, right? It's all easy for Tether to handle a certain situation when Bitcoin's up at 60,000, creating new all-time highs at 70,000. But right now, when you've got Bitcoin trying to go down to 24,000, you've got markets hugely suppressed, you've got equity markets panicking and worrying about a global recession. This is when certain coins get tested the hardest, because what happens is your reserves all fall too. So if we head on over to Tether, I want to explain something really important here. And that is, if you go onto the Tether website, they will always say that we will make sure we keep our balances in check. Now, what that means is they want to make sure that their assets, okay, match the number of liabilities. If you're now here in this case, so what they're saying is we've got 82, call it 83 billion out there in liabilities, i.e. the USDT Tether, and we're going to match that with assets in the bank, supposedly, okay? And that is supposed to give you confidence that this is collateralized. Now, the issue is, if you head on over to their reports and reserves, you will actually find out, and this has always been my biggest, you know, bugbear with these algorithmically, with these stable coins, regardless. Now, I know UST is algorithmically backed, and I know Tether is a centralized stablecoin, and they're very different, right? This is backed with reserves, which we're going to come on to the breakdown right now. I know they're different, but the reality is it's part of the same game, in that people are coming across into stablecoins, not just to move across into crypto, right? Take your fiat, go into stable, and then buy crypto, which was initially the intended purpose. But now people are getting into stablecoins, and they have been. I've been watching this over the last year. They've been getting into stablecoins in huge amounts to stake to get the APY, right? That is what we saw with the Anchor Protocol on UST, and it's the same thing with Tether, right? People have huge amounts, not because they're moving it across to crypto, but because they're holding it, they're staking it in for return. But this is the problem. We never knew about how much this is getting lent out. This is the exact same issue with the fractional reserve banking in traditional finance, right? And we saw how that played out in the financial crisis. And now we're seeing the same here. There is no clear data stream. Somebody point me to some, if I'm mistaken, where we can see how often is this money being lent out and how many times, right? How much rehypothecation is there? That's what we need to understand. And then the other thing to come on to is what I'm showing you right now, which is the reserves breakdown. So of all the assets, they say 83% is in cash and cash equivalents. In other words, in a purest state, if you're lending out 83 billion, you've minted 83 billion in USDT, you want to keep 83 billion in the bank account. Now, they don't have that. 83% is in cash and cash equivalents. So we're going to come on to that in a second. Then they've got 4.61 in corporate bonds and funds and precious metals. Then they've got 5.27 in secured loans, 6.38 in other investments, including digital tokens. Can you believe it? So you can imagine in a market which is going down, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that many of these investments start to fall. Many of these investments start to fall, which reduces the reserve you have available. So when there is an attack or when there is just FOMO and FUD, which puts pressure on the peg, you've got less in the treasury to fight that. That's part of the problem. Now, if we come onto this 83% and drill down into it, you've got 50% of that is in treasury bills, okay? 36 is in commercial paper. Only 6.36 of that is cash and bank deposits, and then 4.55 in money market funds. So you can see, this is not all cash and cash equivalents, and you can see that here. Now, USDC says theirs is all cash and cash equivalents, so they won't have any of this bit, but no doubt they'll have similar splits along here. We can go through that in another video probably as well. So the risk remains, and we need to be fearful of this because this could become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and we need to make sure we do not have crazy amounts in stablecoins. There's no need to. If the APY is too good to be true, chances are it is, and you should be staying away from it. That's one of the reasons I never staked on Anchor. It's one of the reasons I don't go chasing around these crazy yields where they're too good to be true. I want to invest in long-term projects. It sounds boring, but look, every influencer is saying the same now, right? It turned out that I happened to be right. Now, I didn't want this whole UST Luna drama and this depegging on Tether as well to come out and happen for us to understand that. We need to have smartly allocated portfolios. We don't need loads in stablecoins because we don't know if our cash is there to back it up. If there was a run on stablecoins, which is what we saw with UST, right? With the Luna ecosystem. Now, what is going to happen with Tether? How will this play out? What about some of these other stablecoins, right? Without as good backing as Tether, which one is next? That becomes the fear. So the clear thing is we don't want to be in stable coins. We don't want to have excessive amounts in any given one stable coin. Ideally, if you can move into a solid crypto where you're trying to get into those. If you're trying to stay in fiat, then fine. Not ideal. We want to be in the crypto ecosystem, but stay in fiat. Staying in the middle ground on some of these stable coins, particularly if you've got all your assets in one stable coin which could be attacked, is a risky solution. And that is why I really want to kick back against this kind of mindset. And it kind of annoyed me that the CTO of Tether here actually retweeted this. He seems like a sound guy, but he actually tweeted this, and this person here, austerity, Tether is not UST. I will go down with this ship if wrong and buying at 0.96. The USDT are backed, redemption's open, don't be dumb. Why do you need to go down with any ship? It's just a stable coin. Chill out, right? What's the purpose of a stable coin? Purpose of stable coin is for you to go in, move from fiat into stablecoin and get into the crypto that you want to buy. Is it Bitcoin? Is it whatever crypto you want to buy? Get into that crypto. But no, now people want to get greedy. Now people want 20% on their stable coins, right? Where do you think that 20% is coming from? It's coming from rehypothecation. Your money's being lent and lent and lent and lent, and you don't know because there's no audit checks, there's no regulation, there's nothing around this. And therefore, why do you think Coinbase, with their lend program, why do you think it was rejected by the SEC? Because of the same thing. It needs to be regulated. Why do you think Janet Yellen and the whole of the US SEC are focused on stablecoins? Because they could see this happening. This is the Achilles heel of the crypto space. And the fact that this is happening now, that all these stablecoins are being tested now, in this critical moment when Bitcoin is struggling, is down, we could be entering into a multi-year bear market. Yes, multi-year bear market. This is a challenging time for all these stablecoins. So you guys make sure you don't need to be going down with any ship. Allocate your portfolio, spread it out, be sensible, use a bit of common sense, and play out these difficult times. It's not complicated. When you chase greed, that's often when you're going to run into a few problems. So there, just wanted to bring that up. We'll monitor this over the next kind of few hours. We'll see what happens with Tether and some of the other stablecoins. But just get that exposure out. You saw how quickly it moved with UST Luna, how quickly you were out of the money and how difficult it became to take your coins out and the rest of it. So just stay smart, stay clued into this, and you could see this contagion effect was happening. And just one more thing, by the way, guys, anyone who's unsure about contagion effect, check this out. You can see George Soros, who famously bet against the pound, he took down the Bank of England. He then went down and took down the Thai baht. He then bet against the Chinese yen, right? Then he tried going after the Hong Kong dollar. This is what happens. Whoever coordinated attacks these stablecoins, they obviously have an agenda and they can continue to do so and continue to be successful doing so because they've proven it out. Okay, doesn't necessarily, well, ethically you can say what you want, but it doesn't make it illegal. If they found a loophole in the system where they can keep shorting and keep making billions and billions of dollars, they're going to rinse and repeat. George Soros made a living doing exactly that. Might not be the best ethical move, might not make you, you know, best friends with everybody, but it shows that that's a strategy that was used in traditional finance and can definitely be used in crypto. So keep your head level, stay smart, stay allocated in your portfolios, navigate these difficult times. There's an update on stablecoins. Just watch out for it, guys. Watch out for it. Consider yourself warned. As always, guys, if you like this video, smash up the likes and subscribe if you like my perspective. Check out the course member live streams, Ijaz.uk/member will get you access to our 3 times weekly live streams where we can do tokenomics, we can critique your portfolio, and just a group where you can bounce ideas off of people, because this is a really tough time now. And now's the time, though, when you start making the decisions which are going to pay off in our next bull market. So we need to get to work. We're not going to panic sell. We're not going to suddenly, you know, quit on crypto and blame crypto and be full of sympathy. We're going to build out our portfolio, learn, educate ourselves, and continue to invest smarter and smarter. As always, guys, smash up the like button, and I'll see you in the next one.